Hey everyone, this is the Comic Book Fan 25 coming at you with another video. So Avengers Endgame has come out and the mania is real. People have been hospitalized for excessive sobbing and viciously beaten for spoiling the movie to others. Besides those extreme events, I've seen the film and all I can tell you is that it is brilliant. In addition to all the hype, today I will be talking about my one marvelous scene. Now, I know this YouTube crossover event already happened on the 22nd of April, so I'm late to the party, and I do not claim to be as popular as channels like Lessons from the Screenplay, High Top Films, or Captain Midnight, though I admire the hell out of those YouTubers. I am not part of that league, if you can call it that, or even an association with Nando V Movies. I simply just wanted to make my own video on one scene in a Marvel film that I find to be the best and is among my favorite scenes in film history, just to give you an idea. My one marvelous scene is not the airport scene in Civil War, or Tony's revelation to the world that he is Iron Man, or even the Battle for New York moment in Avengers, but the emotionally satisfying conclusion to Peter Quill's character arc in the ending sequence of Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite Marvel films, where Peter Quill finally opens the present his mother left him in the beginning to find that it's another mixed tape. What hits me emotionally in this scene like a ton of bricks is how the whole film has been carefully building up to this moment in Peter's journey, where he must finally confront his feelings about his mother's death, and in the end, embrace them. Peter has spent the whole film up to this point suppressing his emotions of sadness, love, and guilt. He tries to come off as an intimidating badass with the name Star-Lord. He's clearly trying to instill shock and awe in his foes, but instead, this is the reaction he gets.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw?
He engages in casual sexual relations with various alien women, whom he has no emotional connection towards at all.
Hey,
Barit.
Barit. Look, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I forgot you're here.
And when confronted with the death of his mother, he refuses to face it, right up to the point that he didn't take her dying hand as a child. Through meeting the other Guardians in the film, Peter slowly but surely learns to open up a lot more. What's marvelous about this scene is a list of things. First off, the dialogue. Just in the beginning of this sequence, we learn exactly where Peter got the Star-Lord name through his mother's voiceover.
My little Star-Lord.
It was his mother's pet name for him as a child. Peter tries to use that name to be a badass in the beginning, but it's clear from this scene that he never fully let go of his mother. He always carried memories of her around just like his mixed tape. He just refused to admit it. Just listen to him talk about his mother's death in this scene with Gamora.
I happen to have it on me. When I was... the day that she... when I left Earth.
Now, I also think this is an example of a great acting moment from Chris Pratt, who conveys the silent pain of his mother's death through only his facial expressions and the pauses in his sentences. It's evident that Peter's mother is an adverse topic that he's opposed to talking about, even with the woman he later falls in love with. The second thing that's great about this scene is what's great with the whole film series of Guardians: the music. After reading his mother's heartwarming note, Peter plays the mixtape to find the song on it is Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. This use of song makes me choke up every time because it's the perfect song to illustrate the real message Peter's mother was sending him. The lyrics to the song, Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby, convey that no matter what obstacles stand in the way, that even in death, Peter's mother will always be with him. She lives in his heart, his music taste, in his name, and in his friends. We saw in the final fight scene how when Gamora asked for Peter to take her hand, it mirrored how his mother asked him the same thing. Peter learned from his mistake and made the right choice to take the helping hand of someone who really cares for him. The music makes Peter feel like he can finally move on from his mother's passing, knowing that she will live on through him, never truly leaving his side, allowing him to open his heart to new love. Which brings me to my final reason on why this scene works so well: the theme. The theme of the whole Guardians of the Galaxy film is family. This quote from Captain Raymond Holt from one of my favorite shows right now, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I think beautifully explains what family is in Guardians.
Okay. I came from a very formal family. My parents were not especially affectionate.
Really? Your Honor wasn't a big snuggler?
But the beauty of being an adult is that you can make a new family with new traditions.
This applies to the characters in Guardians. All of the Guardians are lonely, broken people who have come from great tragedies in their lives. Drax lost his family to cold-blooded murder, Gamora lost her home to the same thing, Rocket was torn apart and pieced back together repeatedly, losing his chance at a normal life. Peter lost his mother and his life on Earth, and Groot? Well, he's just kind of along for the ride, but still vitally important to the theme, don't get me wrong. It's because of how the Guardians come together and unite against a common enemy for a selfless goal, saving innocent lives, that they gain something. Rocket gains friends to call him out on his mistakes and accept him from who he is all the same. Gamora gains a new home amongst the Guardians, Drax gains a new family, and Peter gains friends, family, and romance. They all gain a family, hope, a reason to give a shit. Groot puts it most eloquently in this scene.
We are Groot.
Meaning, we are family. We are stronger together. Groot is the heart of the Guardians, and they all need each other. Now, returning to my scene and how it exemplifies the theme of family, after Peter starts playing the song his mother gave him, he sees Gamora walk in on him, smiling. Peter smiles back because he sees the new family he's gained through the Guardians and the chance he now has at finally connecting with someone emotionally, as opposed to his initial swinger lifestyle. Gamora then dances to the song, showing how comfortable she now is with Peter. The scene then switches to the Ravagers drinking and celebrating over attaining the orb. Yondu opens it up to find a troll doll. He reacts with a smile. Now, when I first saw this scene, I initially thought Yondu's smile was a joke about how he thought the troll was some type of powerful treasure, as he's never seen one before. But after rewatching this scene and this film countless times, and having seen Volume 2, I've come to realize that Yondu's reaction is something much deeper, relating to the theme of family. I believe Yondu smiles because he knows Peter conned him, and that's exactly what Yondu taught him to do. He would have done the same thing had he been in Peter's position. It's a, I taught him well kind of smile. Now in Guardians 2, a bit of spoilers, but in that movie, we see how much of a father figure Yondu really was to Peter, and how much he cared for him. Throughout the first film, Yondu constantly keeps finding excuses not to kill Peter, making the other Ravagers think he's soft on Peter. That's because he is. Peter is the closest thing Yondu has to a son. He raised him. Peter is Yondu's family. What we see in Yondu's smile is the smile of a father who is proud of his son. It shows just how far the family theme really goes in Guardians. The family theme stretches even further to John C. Reilly's character, Roman Day, who is revealed to have a family in the end. Through this revelation, we get an intimate sense of how important it was for the Guardians to save Xandar, and why Roman believed that Peter was trying to do good.
But he's not, and I'm quoting him here, 100% a dick.
Roman has a happy family, which has likely allowed him to see the good in people, due to the deep emotional connection he goes home to. Having a family means dealing with other people's flaws, having faith that they have good in them, and loving them enough to help them improve. Roman has probably had to do all of that with his family, which leaves him with a more open heart towards others. He knows Peter is serious about wanting to help Xandar because he has faith that Peter is good inside. Roman has also had something very personal to lose in the Battle of Xandar with his family, so he had to be open to Peter's helping hand. And we see in this scene that Roman's reward for his faith in Peter is that he gets to see his family again. The scene then ends on the Guardians in their ship with a nice tracking shot of Gamora placing her hand on Drax's shoulder, someone she had always been at odds with throughout the film, but has now found a friendship with. Rocket then nods at Drax, who also nods back with the warmest smile I have ever seen on an alien. Fight me on that. Baby Groot awakens in Rocket's lap, visually symbolizing the parent-child relationship that Rocket will have with this new Groot. It's a beautiful visual illustration of how close the Guardians have now become. They have been through the worst of times and now have each other to lean on. The whole team has gone from constantly arguing and taunting one another to trusting and caring for one another. Gamora further conveys her liking of Peter by telling him that the Guardians will follow his lead and referring to him as Star-Lord, showing that she takes him more seriously now.
Follow your lead, Star-Lord.
The Guardians then happily fly off into the sky as a team, and as you guessed it, a family. Marvel may have just recently acquired the film rights back to their first family, Fantastic Four, but if you ask me, Marvel has already made a new Marvel family team with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The ending sequence of Guardians of the Galaxy perfectly encapsulates through its use of dialogue, music, and character relationships that family is one, if not the most important thing in life. The Marvel Comics have always put great emphasis on familial connections through its teams like Fantastic Four and the X-Men. The Marvel Cinematic Universe shows the beauty of not being alone in the world and having others to fight alongside you in moments of adversity. Going through obstacles in life is never easy, but as long as you have a loving family always by your side, together, we can get through anything. So that is my one marvelous scene. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you'd like to make me a part of your Marvel family, please like my Facebook page, for which I've posted the link to in the description below, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more videos coming up later. Until next time, you stay classy, Internet.